Good day or good evening, whatever time it is where you're watching this video. I'm in this vibration of feeling like I'm in a, what you call a fever dream, without having a fever. And there's a lot of incoming things, and I'm having quite the time trying to unpack them all. And I've been told that these seemingly different things that are coming through are connected to each other in some way. So I thought I would just sit down and maybe unpack it with you guys and see where it goes. My apologies ahead of time. There is construction going on in the apartment next door to my house. So if you hear some sudden loud bangs or whatever, just ignore them. I tried to have my music up to drown them out a little bit. Thank you for your patience. I'm trying to be patient with this myself. The first thing that I got that came through was a channeled transmission through automatic writing. I have it right here. And I thought I would read it to you, because perhaps this might make sense to someone out there in the collective more than it makes sense to me, as I am the messenger here in this regard. It says, a message from the far side. Be ye open to interpretation. We are from the far side, that place from beyond where the mind can reach. We overlook galaxies much like yours. We say there are more, infinite in numbers. Don't try to count, you will only be wasting your breath. We contact you for reasons you may not comprehend, but this is why interpretation is necessary. Energetic shifts have been made through the power of your sun on your planet. Though things seem to remain the same to the naked eye, this will come off as more of a feeling rather than a seeing. It is when you are walking along and all of a sudden you feel as if you have walked through an energetic barrier. The sensation of walking through a bubble, perhaps. This is what your peoples refer to as a glitch. Due to this new frequency of energy, you are able to be between realms. It's the carbon copy failing to keep you prisoner any longer. So when you feel this, be sure to take note of your surroundings, as what may be familiar will not be for a passing moment. For you have stepped through the veil and are momentarily on the higher dimensional plane. Also take note on how frequently this occurs for you, what time of day or night it is. Also, if you're with someone or if you're alone, take note of how you're feeling in the moment when it happens, what you are thinking and or talking about. Pay attention also to the resonance of the earth and what the planets are doing around you, because they bring in energies as well, especially when they go conjunct or cazimi with your sun, in accordance to the alignment of the planet that you are on. We bring this transmission to share with your collective at this time. That is all for now. That's how they ended it. So, there's that little piece. And the next little tidbit that came through after I had channeled that through automatic writing was the song by Taylor Swift called Ready for It. And I was like, that's interesting. I wonder what, I kind of thought maybe it was a separate energy at first, is what it was. I was like, this is interesting. I'm kind of bouncing all over the place here. But then I sat with it for a minute and I heard Spirit say, no, they're together. Please look up the lyrics. So I went ahead and looked up the lyrics and I read along. And my eye was brought to certain segments of the lyrics. So it's not the entire song, but how the song presented itself was when she says in the song, in the middle of the night in my dreams. And then it goes into, are you ready for it? That's what pulled me in when I heard that part in my menti. Started singing that. But my eye went to the part of the lyrics where it says, touch me, you'll never be alone, island breeze, and lights down low, no one has to know. And then it goes into let the games begin. So this is what Spirit was asking me to pay attention to within the song itself. And I'm sure you can imagine why now I said at the top there where it kind of feels like I'm in a fever dream without having a fever. Because it's got that kind of vibe, for sure. So I hit up my Wisdom of the Oracle cards to see if I could get a little bit more as to what all of this is about, really. And here are some of the cards that came out. We have Between Worlds. And we have Mending. And I'm sorry for the glare. I am set up in my kitchen right now in front of the beautiful window. I wanted to be able to sit here and see my hummingbirds out my window. So if the glare bothers you, I apologize. But we have Between Worlds and Mending that came out, and then this card actually came out in yesterday's reading that I posted. We've got this Round and Round again. And the interesting thing about this, I took note of the numbers on the cards, and I will hold them up because there is a bit of a glare. But we've got Mending with 52, and then we've got Round and Round with 25. They're mirrored images. In this Round and Round card, it's all about things coming back around again with a higher perspective. It's that spiral energy. And this Between the Worlds card reminds me of the veil and how that transmission from the far side, this is a term that I've never really experienced. Maybe not a term, but an energy. Let's say that way. This is an energy that I've never really put thought form into, the far side. I thought that was very interesting, but the fact that the transmission was talking about this feeling of you're out and about, you're doing your thing, and all of a sudden you get this like warped feeling of like stepping through like a bubble. And I have experienced this recently actually myself, so I thought this was very interesting. But it's a stepping between the veil, like between the worlds. Stepping through the veil. And I also like the fact that this card is a number 3 in the deck. And that's that Holy Trinity vibe. When one becomes the Holy Trinity within itself is when this occurs, and all the energies are just primed and ready. Are you ready for it? Like the song. And within this Mending card here, these little fairies are working on mending. Yeah, Tyson for confirmation. Thank you, Tyson. They're mending. They're mending all these broken pieces of the web of life. You know, these pieces that were, I heard slain. They were slain. They were torn apart. They were ripped apart at the seams. And so this round and round energy of the spiral coming back to this mending with a higher perspective each and every time in cooperation with the energies that are being brought to the earth at this time from our own solar system, and how they talked about even when the planets go conjunct in Kazemi with the sun, and the sun is what powers all this energy to the earth. It brings all the energy to the earth. And the planets themselves hold their own energies. So I'm getting the vibe that even the planets in our solar system are helping with this mending at this time. And the last 2 cards that I had pulled before I sat down to record was number 18, that's Serendipity, and 15, Message in a Bottle. And I thought that was cool because it has that island vibe, just like the song. It says island breeze, lights down low, no one has to know. All of this energy work is very hidden. It's not mainstream. It's not out there in everyone's face. It's very quiet. It's very subtle. But it's necessary work to be done. And those of you who know, know. I was guided to go ahead and pick up the book just to see what it says in the book on these two cards. And number 18, the serendipity, the essential meanings, it says opportunity aligned with readiness. So that just kind of confirms the song being brought into this, and the fact that it says, are you ready for it? It says the awareness, the synchronicity, luck and good fortune appearing as signs and symbols, a magical alignment of events. And that's what the far side is talking about here, is when you get that warped, whoopy feeling of stepping through a bubble, pay attention to your surroundings, because the familiarity is going to change for just a second, and you're going to see something else that wasn't able to be seen before. And the fact that we're also being asked to pay attention to what we were thinking, what we were doing, who were we with, what kind of energy were we in when you felt this, when this occurs. To me, that's a guidance to pay attention to your frequency. What frequency were you at when you stepped through this veil, through this bubble, through this glitch? This is something that we need to practice. And then I flipped over to message in a bottle. It says communication, a sign. There we go again. A Claydon, which is the ancient name for a spontaneous oracle delivered innocently by the speaker. Oh, interesting. Wow. Pointing the way to your highest good. Wow. It is my honor. It is my honor to be that. Thank you. A serendipitous message. I don't know, maybe a lot of people out there have been experiencing this as well, and I'm not afraid to step up and address it if need be. Now it all makes sense. See, all I had to do was sit down with it, unpack it, and share it with y'all, and now it makes perfect sense to me as well. I'm not claiming to know everything in this world. I'm here along with you guys for the ride, for the discovery. And it is my honor to be able to do so for all of you beautiful people out there. I think I'll go ahead and leave this one here. I love you all unconditionally. And until next time, bye.